everybody, it's Emily from Fret Planet. In this lesson, I'm going to explain how to read some of the guitar notation that I use in my lessons. So let's start with the lovely guitar chord chart. Now, I write everything out for both left-handed and right-handed players. So there's two different ways of reading this chart depending on which is your dominant hand. Now, what I want you to do is grab your guitar and hold it up right in front of you while you're looking at the chart, so you see them side by side. Now, for my right-handed players, think of the chord chart as a smushed, kind of robotic-looking picture of the first couple of frets on the guitar. On your chart, just like it is on your guitar, your sixth string, the thickest one, is going to be on your left. And then your first string, the thinnest one, is on your right. And then your frets are the spaces that go downward from there. Okay? Now my lefties, if you look at your guitar and you look at the chart, on both, your sixth string is on your right side. And then your first string, the thinnest one, is on your left. And then your frets go down from there. Now the thick black bar, horizontal bar, at the top of the chart represents the nut. That's this piece at the end of the fretboard here where the strings break. Okay? Now, the horizontal lines that you see coming down the chart are the fret wires that separate the frets. Those vertical lines are your strings. So it's just like a smushed picture of your fretboard. Now on the chart, you're going to see dots. Those fall where you put your fingers on the guitar. Sometimes above the top line in the chart, you will see numbers. Those numbers indicate which of your fret hand fingers, 1, 2, 3, or 4, you use to make that chord shape. Now, you'll also see on some charts X's and O's above the chart. The X's mean that you leave that string out of the chord completely, and the O's mean that you play the string open. You don't have to fret it, but it's still a part of the chord. Sometimes you see numbers on the charts that I use in my lessons. Sometimes you don't, because I just tell you which fingers to use, but that's what that means. Now, the other thing that happens with these charts is that you might see a number to the left or to the right of the frets. Now, when you see that, that means that whatever fret it's next to, that's represented by the number that's next to it. So if you see a little 7 next to that top fret, that means that we're no longer positioned at the first fret, like it looks like it might be. We actually have to take that whole shape, whatever it is, and move it up so that the 7th fret is our first fret. So watch out for that so you can position the chords correctly. Okay, let's take a look at a form of guitar notation that's called tab, which is short for tablature. I use that a lot in my lessons. It's very, very simple, but it takes a little bit of getting used to because it's going to feel a little upside down-ish at first. So when you look at the tab staff, you see 6 horizontal lines. Those represent your 6 strings. Now here's the catch. The bottom string visually on your tab actually represents the 6th string, which visually is the top string on your guitar. Okay? So from the bottom up, it's 6th string, 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 1st. Now, the reason that's done is because just like the standard music staff, which would have notes on it, we're actually keeping the higher pitches on the top of the page, and we're keeping the lower pitches lower on the page. Now, sometimes you see a tab staff that has a staff of notes, standard notation, above it, and you'll notice that the melodies move in the same direction. Higher notes closer to the top, lower notes closer to the bottom. So it does make sense, musically speaking. Now, the numbers on the tab staff just represent which fret to hit, and they'll be written directly on whichever string you're supposed to hit that note on. If you see individual notes side by side on the staff, that means that those notes are just played one at a time. If you see notes written vertically all in a row, that means that you play those all at the same time, like when you're strumming chords. Now, one more thing, above the tab staff you might see two little symbols. One of them looks like a little upside down staple. One of them looks like a V. And those indicate whether you're supposed to pick or strum in a downward or upward direction. The one that looks like a little staple, that one represents the down pick or the down strum. The one that looks like a V represents an up pick or an up strum. Well, I hope this helped today, and I hope that this helps you with your future Fret Planet lessons. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Keep it positive, people, and keep strumming.